Hey, welcome back everybody. Some more Age of Empires here for you. This time we're on Mongolian Heights. We're doing the Abbasid Dynasty here. Usually I play English on these hybrid water maps, but I've been really trying to refine my Abbasid 2 town center opening, so I want to try it out even on this map. Abbasid are not awful on hybrid water maps. They don't have access to very good boats, but we do get cheaper docks, so at least that's something. I'm up against a Rus opponent, so that's why I am attacking all of the wildlife on the map. We're hunting all the deer, and we're trying to lead these wolves into our town center for them to get killed, because our Rus opponent is hoping to hunt these animals to build a bounty and get free gold. Ooh, there's those deer. Need to hunt these deer for sure. Okay, good. And up against the Rus, I like to make a second scout, because it's just so nice to grab up all these units on the map. Oh, this scout needs to come this way. We saw some juicy sheep. Oh, there was a sheep here and a sheep here. I guess I missed them. But we're also trying to scout up and down the river because we want to know if our opponent is going to go with a dock and start fishing. And in fact, we do find one. We could try and burn down the dock with our scout, but I decided, well, maybe I can just put a outpost on the side of the river, and the outpost will shoot down whatever boats he has. However, we're going to learn an important lesson about the Rus and why they have such a strong navy. This game taught me a lot about how to handle Rus when I see them going for an early fishing operation. And look at that, there's still even a wolf over here. So my opponent has walled off some of these gaps, all the choke points on the map. Likely going to see walls here, here, and of course there's one already here. So my idea was, oh, well, I'll just build an outpost here, and then it'll rain down arrows on his fishing ships. However, there's two issues here. One, these Lodya fishing boats are very, very tanky. They have a lot of health to them. They are a very expensive unit, but they represent essentially 2 fishing ships. So they're like 2 fishing ships merged into one. The other thing you'll notice about these fishing ships is they don't actually have to return to the dock to drop off their fish. Basically, once their hull completely fills with food, it's just instantly added to your supply. So look at this. My outpost is attacking his ship, but it's not doing enough to kill it, and the moment it gets 40 food, the food is just returned. So all he's going to do is, if one of his ships is getting attacked, he's just going to move it down the river, and I basically have to follow with my outposts, which aren't even doing enough damage to begin with. So the first lesson from this game is, don't try to use outposts to discourage Russian fishing. It's not gonna work. All he does is just relocate the ships further down the river. And so now I have all these wasted resources in these outposts. That's 100 wood, 50 gold, 50 stone per tower. All of that could have been spent on other items. After realizing my mistake, I realized how far behind I was. Fortunately, I got my own dock up, and I'm making fishing ships of my own, and I could make dhows to try and combat his fishing ships, but he can actually convert the fishing ships into attack ships. So the Russian boats can convert themselves from fishing ships into attack ships, and it's pretty cheap to do so as well. Seen a few archers from my opponent. I'm getting some upgrades. I'm also making maybe a camel archer. Looks like just a small standing army. We did get our second town center, but it was pretty late. All because I decided to commit to these towers, which are now just useless. So I already feel I'm at a big disadvantage here. We're gathering up as much wood as we can. For my resource distribution, it looks like I'm just going to go straight Castle Age after this 2-town center and not make much of a standing army. Not sure how I feel about that, especially now that he's sending in some units, but I think I have the right unit composition to deal with a small group of archers. In fact, I don't think we're going to lose anything. There we go. Now we can start burning down some of his walls and just seeing what units he sends to respond. And never forget that while these palisade gates are annoying and they're blocking our path, we really could just make a transport ship. It's only 100 wood and we can just send units right across. So if we really want to get these raiding forces into his base, we can do that. We're seeing what units he responds with, mostly archers. We're going to back off. We're going to go up to the next stage. We're going to get some horsemen to deal with the archers we're seeing. And I got some scouts because I was anticipating once we burn down this palisade that we can just send in the scouts and try and learn what it is he has. There's his archer mass. We could use a little more horsemen, but we're trading pretty effectively. But now that he runs behind the palisade, we should probably retreat, or we're just going to lose these units. Yeah, need to back off. He's building a wooden fortress near my fishing ships. Smart move, that'll discourage my fishing. Just an annoying scout of his attacking my villagers. Would love for this fortified palisade gate to burn down, then we can start to send scouts into his base. And now he's sending knights in. It's a smart move. These knights can be really pesky, and I haven't really made too much in the way of spearmen. And he knows I'm likely gathering from pretty distant resource locations on my side of the map. Would love to see this scout get across. Really want to get units to the other side of the map. And I think I'm going to lose my scout here. Run, scout. More archers. Fortunately, my knights are going to be really effective against these archers, but now he has his own, and he's also mixing in crossbowmen. So that's very scary. And now I'm worried that I'm about to take some serious economic damage here because he's about to get his army on top of my farms. There's one villager down, 2, 3. We need to retreat. Looks like another 4 right there. My army responds. We're duking it out. The man-at-arms are pretty good. The crossbowmen are really strong. Crossbowmen are a real issue. But I do have a lot of archers. They're pretty strong against his crossbowmen. But now he still has melee units. I need to rally my units over here. Instead, we're just battling it out over here, and these units are misrallied. Good, my knights show up. Archers are targeting the crossbowmen in the back. It looks like I target fired them. That's good work. They're a light unit. They take good damage from archers. Nice. We're holding there, but look at this. We lost a slew of villagers over here on my gold to these 2 knights. The knights that he sent a long way around the whole map ended up taking out a bunch of my villagers. So now I'm down to 67. Let's do a quick check on my opponent. 68. My 2-town center advantage has basically disappeared. And since the other side of the map has pretty much just been a mystery to me at this point, I'm curious what exactly is going on with my opponents. I'm actually going to do a full map reveal. Let's see if they got a second town center. No, doesn't look like it. Just the one town center here. Tons of military production because they have a very strong fishing economy from all these Lodya fishing ships. And so, how sad is it that even with my 2 town centers, I just cannot get an economic advantage? I'm not even gathering gold, gain a little stone, opponent's way ahead in food, and just gold for them is off the charts. They've also managed to pick up 2 of the relics out on the map. They're using this high trade house to generate lots of gold and free food. So he's going to be able to make very expensive units like crossbowmen and knights. Me, I'm having to mix in bits of cheap units like archers, horsemen, anything we can get to hold the lines. Good that I have a camel archer that's reducing the damage of all these knights. But look at the crossbowman mass. 15 crossbowmen. They're pretty much going to take out everything I've got. It looks like I'm rallying units right here, which is scary. I need to rally further back. And with the income like this, okay, it looks like I finally got my villagers back on wood. Maybe things weren't as bad as they seemed. I may have just been transitioning villagers from one wood source to another, but the income is still in my opponent's advantage, and he's just been on 1 town center this whole time. Ooh, 13 tickets in the Golden Gate. Looks like he's switching to a farm economy, gain even more food. Probably to get up to the Imperial Age, considering how much gold my opponent's generating. So I'm at 80 villagers. Opponent is at 75. We just cannot seem to really outclass him in the economy game because, I mean, maybe we're ahead by 5 villagers. He still has all these fishing ships working these, just generating food nonstop. Pretty valiant hold by me, trying to get more standing army, and it looks like his warrior monk actually came in and grabbed the relic that was right here. That'll put him up to 4 relics. I'm no slouch myself. I'm trying to grab relics. It looks like I have my mosque down, and I realize it soon that I'm losing the relic game, and I believe I start grabbing them off the map as quick as I can, but opponent already has an advantage here. More annoying scouts, but you never know when it's going to be a night or 2. Just 1 or 2 nights can completely devastate a resource patch like we saw here at the gold. In terms of resources, I have tons of wood and nothing to do with it. Could probably put down more farms because I do need more food income. But yeah, I'm not really sure what to do with all this wood. It looks like I'm using it to put down walls, so that's good. I could produce more fishing ships, grab up more of the fish along the river, although it's terrifying because these wooden fortresses could easily be converted and given spring-hauled emplacements. And now my opponent's bringing out some really expensive units. Like I said, his income is just off the charts with gold, so why not make some trebuchets? He's just knocking down my palisade gate with it. But I expect to see more siege units coming. Oh, he's kind of got a miss rally here. He needs to get those units out to the front line. But here he comes. Now there's another way into my base. I've kind of blocked this one off with the keep here, but now the center is open, and all these villagers need to run. Oof. Where's my army? Yeah, we need to completely rotate, and then look at this. He comes in from the other side with this group, and the keep is out of range. I needed to put maybe a wall right there to channel his people in, but look at that. His entire army just gives my keep the slip. Now we're gonna fight. I'm not sure if I can take on that big crossbow ball and all of these knights. Fortunately, I do spot this trebuchet that he left out, and I send a group of units to burn it down. That's a free trebuchet. Here's the fight. The spearmen are doing good work. I do have crossbowmen in the back. Here come the crossbowmen of his own. They're going to take out my man-at-arms who are serving as tanks. They're at least absorbing a decent amount of the blows here. It looks like, yeah, we're going to get the trebuchet. Nice. We're fighting back. Looks like we might just win this one out. Now my archers can engage with his crossbowmen, and that's good. We definitely want archers fighting crossbowmen. The problem is, I think on the back end of this, my opponent is gearing up for even more of a late game. Looks like, yeah, farms are going down, and he's teching up to the final age, the Imperial Age. It's going to give him a huge advantage here. Yeah, we traded pretty well with our armies. And it looks like he doesn't have much of a standing army at this point. I'm scouting around to try and find out what he's going to make. But he's already rearming himself. He's got to get these units over. Okay, there we go. So the next army he produces is going to be incredibly intimidating. And look at the production coming down from him. So many stables, siege workshops, barracks. If I don't end the game in the next maybe minute or two, he's just going to completely take over. And I have that feeling, and so I go for it. I use these springalds and my archers to try and take down some of his fishing ships. We deal some damage, but that's about it. And now we're going to use the ram to break through this palisade gate. We're going to go in and try to put a stop to his Imperial Age. But he's already there. We're now having to respond to his army. And this is unfortunate. I really wanted to be spending my time going on the attack. Although this is a good engagement. I think kind of a misrally from him, because we are doing really good damage to his knights. My archer ball is strong. He really threw away this army. Now I'm thinking maybe there really is a window. Maybe I really do have an opportunity. This battering ram, unfortunately, is going to go down. So now I'm thinking, this is it. We've got to try and push our advantage here. Maybe we can win it out here. Although I have tons of resources, I really need to produce more of an army, need more military production buildings. I think I made these, but I didn't add them to my production queue or my production hotkey group for a while. Here's my army. What can I do with it? We should probably get on top of his structures up here. I wisely sent some knights in, and they've done great harassing. We might actually be ahead in villagers now. Yeah, 105 to my opponent's 78. If we played this out a little longer, we might actually get the advantage. Like, we just killed a bunch of his villagers, but it looks like I'm moving in on his base without much of a plan. And here comes his heavily upgraded army, and I don't think we can hold against this. My springalds are getting good kills, but now look at that. He's got all these streltsy. He's just producing a whole new class of army, and rather than holding on to mine and upgrading it once I go to the Imperial Age, I've already lost it. So now what do? I'm trying to rally units to the front. I'm trying to get a keep down to put a stop to this Imperial Age army, but he's got gunpowder units. These streltsy are dealing an insane amount of damage. They're just mowing down my spearmen. And I just don't have the technology to deal with what he's sending my way. If he has even a mangonel or two in the back, I don't think I can deal with that either. Oh, love seeing the mangonel shots on the streltsy. That's what we want. But he's eventually just going to send his melee units in, and here come his units, a bombard, a mangonel. Yeah, now his siege is really coming forward. Would love to get some more mangonel shots on the streltsy. That's huge. Ooh, wrong wrong target. Oh, Mangonels, you're supposed to go for these injured Streltsy. I have to tap out here. My opponent was just a little too ahead, and me throwing away my army there was a big mistake. So a lot of lessons learned from this game. Russian fishing, don't try to solve it with outposts. Don't throw your army away even though your opponent has the advantage. Always stay on the defensive until you really need to go on the offensive. And yeah, I think overall I could have played it better, but there were parts where I really shined, and I'm proud of that. Hopefully you'll make it to the next game, and hope to see you there.